Hi, today we're going to talk about a certain topic called macho culture and the relationship between the novel The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wao. We're going to give a context in the introduction while establishing a thesis. In the development, we're going to explain that thesis, and in the conclusion, we're going to summarize and explain, concluding all the information previously said. So now, macho culture is an environment or a social environment that encourages or rewards macho attitudes and behavior. Suppose divide the stereotype, a man gets respect in a macho society by being able to manage his family, make sexual conquests, and protect his honor, even if violence is necessary. The novel The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wao is written by Junot Diaz, a Dominican American writer and creative writing professor at MIT. This novel follows Oscar de Leon, an overweight Dominican teenager growing up in Patterson, New Jersey, who is in love with science fiction and fantasy publication, as well as a curse that has haunted his family for centuries. The macho culture. So it is how the macho culture puts pressure on young Latin American men to achieve a certain level of persona. Now we're going to start with our arguments, and in this argument is based more specifically to the novel. So in the novel, there's a view of how Dominican man should be, because they basically always are putting pressure in a way, or always looking for the perfect man or the perfect person, or stereotypes, just in a way to saying it that will like bring bring that successfulness, or feel like it brings successfulness to the country itself and to the culture itself. That's why they put all these certain types of stereotypes and characteristics about this. So now I'm going to tell you a quote about the book, and it says, in the 40s and 50s, Puriferio Rubirosa, or Ruby as he was known in the papers, was the third most famous Dominican in the world. First came the fell cattle thief and the cobra woman herself, Maria Montes. A tall, debonair and pretty boy whose enormous phallus created havoc in Europe and North America. Ruby Rosa was the quintessential jet-setting car racing, pole-obsessed playboy, the Trujillato's happy side, for he was indeed one of Trujillo's best-known minions. What does this mean? Is that he's basically describing what is this perfect Dominican man. Why he got all famous, because he was masculine, he was pretty, he was something like a playboy that had money, and he was always looking for superficial things in a way, and always in an aggressive way also. We're going to tell you about basically the benefits of being this persona increases the likeliness of being made like that. What do I mean with this? This means that young Latin American men see so many men that are like built in that stereotype and see them with one word, and that is their foundation of being like this successful. They see them around girls, they see them with being popular, they see it all about them. All that they attract is positive things, and when they see that, young men see that, they are attracted to it. They want that because they want to be popular, because they want to be attractive, because they want to be known in their culture, and that their own people feel that they are honored by him. So they create this attraction and this likeness, that they want to be like that. They need to pursue that stereotype because they want to achieve that successfulness that is wrapped around those men, or that fake successfulness or superficial successfulness that are wrapped around those toxic men in a way. An example of this is the movie Fight Club. Fight Club is about club of people, of men especially, that fight in their free time. In a way, that's the superficial way of saying it, but basically it's that. And the main protagonist, if you see it in the movie, he's a young, handsome man with great physical attributes, with great sex appeal that sleep with around the moment that all positive things comes to him. And basically this movie, or he is the one that creates that fight club and that shows the aggressiveness that a macho man can have, because he thinks that the solutions can be put to a conclusion, and that is fight, only fight. So he finds the way to create that club, and he puts solutions with his aggressiveness, and that thinks the other people see him as a king, as the leader, as the boss in a way. So that's why when I mean successful or superficial successfulness, I I'm telling about this because they want to be the leader, the one that everyone looks up for. Now, the final argument will be how the consequence of the environment or culture creates toxic standards for men. What do I mean for this? When they see men, with all the positive things coming through them and all of that, they became or they create center standards that they have to, like objectives that they have to go or achieve at least to be proud and to be honored in their community. This means that they have put standards that are not good for themselves and for other people around them, not because they have seen and they have established that being like that comes with great things, comes with positive and successfulness. They are trying to get to that because that is how they're going to win in life, in a sense. So they create these standards that will affect all of them around them, including themselves. So they basically want to be that man of the example, of the man of the leader of the fight club of the example earlier, because they want that successfulness and that positive things that are around them, and they want to be as happy as they are, as successful in a way. Now, I'm going to present you a quote about the book, and it says, "In September, he headed to Rogers, New Brunswick. His mother gave him $100 and his first kiss in 5 years. His uncle, a box of condoms. He said, just use them all." And then he added, "on girls." This, you can see the two contrasts of how Oscar was. Oscar was described as such a weakling in a way that couldn't do any physical things, and all that matters is that in this macho presence. And then is his tío, that is a playboy, is a man that gets girl, has great sex appeal, and you can see him and you see him like, this man is very happy, he's comfortable how he is, and he's perfect for how young Latin American men, use him as a way of putting a minimum standard to be proud in their community, to be successful in their community. That's why his uncle only thinks on the superficial things, only thinks on that his nephew had sex. That's why he give him a box of condoms, because that's how you think that's right, because that's the stereotype of how the tío is. That's how contrast in his family runs, and how he feels so alienated by them. Now we're going to conclude all that I have said before. So basically, the constant pressure in people to be aggressive and toxic has damaged the point of view on how young men should manage their personal affairs based on their honor. Now, this stereotype has created a jail that young Latin American men fear, as they fear of changing themselves to be approved by their own people. This means that they are trapped on feeling uncertain of what they should be. They should transform themselves to be this superficial, toxic person, or they should just keep like they are and be proud and be prepared if anything goes wrong. Now, for finishing, the consequence of mental health in these young men by experiencing while living what while living this experience of toxic and seeing all people being this stereotype and looking them as they have to be like that or they're going to not be approved and they're going to be discriminated can be truly damaging and permanent and can make what I'm saying in the last part. They can change themselves to that, or they can be not as they should be. They are so affected that they cannot be free, they cannot be happy. They are always scared or fearing that his family or even his community will be so angry and sad with him that he's not going to feel accepted and he's not going to have a home, in a sense that he won't be feeling of any culture at all.